So first of all, I would like to give you only a few information regarding Specify. Specify is the global food service specification platform, and because it permits to manage, as you can see from the picture, you can manage all the entire specification process of a product, from idea to the distribution of the manufacturer contents, I mean information, technical and commercial information, and and it includes also some tools, software tools to manage the design. And the layout, create the layout, to create a BOQ, to manage the MAP drawings, and to our experience, we have 15 years of experience. We started in 1994, and in the last 20 years, we developed a lot of solutions, and our experience comes from MasterChef software, okay, and previous. Um, Solutions, okay, always based on CAD to draw and to create product, specify. As you can see in 2015, okay, so after MasterChef experience, we developed Specify. Specify permits you to have different covers different needs. We have different version of our software. Exists Specify Design that works with or BigCAD, the software to AutoCAD. Okay, so our Specify is compared to 2007. 2015, 16, and 17, just right now. We have a different solution because sometimes our customers are designers or consultants, okay, or sometimes only manage only the quotation. And for this reason, we have a specific software called Quote that permits to manage the quotation. Another version is a service that permits to manage the maintenance contract and assistance for the end customer. And in the catalog and technical information, technical sheets, always up to date. Okay, and in order to use it in Specify, but also in a website or to develop a solution that needs to work with create the BIM content, so all the BIM content for Revit, okay, always dedicated to the manufacturers. We can, here we have some samples about specified design, what you can create. So the layout with multiple viewports and also camera viewports and rendering. Specified quote permits instead to have to create a quotation with all information, with picture, product pictures, set discounts, and to have the total amount for each area, and also with a total amount of your offer. Specify service, we can manage the maintenance contract and warranties, and it's related to the service you can offer to your customer. And well, in the same way, we have then specified publish that permits to share, and with only one tool to share all information related to the manufacturer products all over the world. Speaking about specify, this is the first screen that appears. Specify has a PDM model that permits to manage the project. For project, I mean, when we speak about project, we can speak about a folder with our software. And Specify stores all these files or all this information in one main folder. Okay, and then inside there I can create another for each project. Okay, as you can see, Radisson Blue or Paris. Okay, I can create the main project, and inside the project I can have different plan. I can manage different plan. Opening a plan, I can see the file I can create with Specify. For example, I have created my drawing, okay, with the walls. I can create different revision, revision 00, 01, and 02. The current one, for example, for the current one, I have also created the quotation. This is the example of the quotation you can create with the software. Here below, you can also save some additional files, PDF, pictures, or Word file, documentation files related to your project. Okay, and when you want to create with Specify, if you want to create a drawing, for example, you just need to make a double click to open, and Specify will open your CAD environment. In this case, I'm using AutoCAD 2016, but for the people which haven't AutoCAD and AutoCAD license, they can choose also BricsCAD. BricsCAD is an alternative software to AutoCAD. Okay, it works in the same way, and it's similar, the same commands that you have in AutoCAD. Okay, you can find the same command line, polyline, move, and they work exactly in the same way than AutoCAD. A BricsCAD license obviously is cheaper than an AutoCAD license. We are speaking about full AutoCAD license, okay, not version. With AutoCAD, it's more convenient because when we speak about price, because consider that one license BricsCAD in English language costs around 100 euros, 640 euros only. Okay. AutoCAD costs around 4,700 euros. Okay, and well, for the customer who hasn't an AutoCAD license, we can suggest also to try BricsCAD. Okay, as you can see, here I have my plan. Specify permits to import an existing plan and to transform directly in 3D. As you can see, now I have opened my my plan, and I can move in three-dimensional view. view, and you can see all the walls in three-dimensional with the tiles and with the floor. You can also apply the shadow in order to see how it looks like. Okay, and it's very easy to import a plan. Okay, I can show in a new drawing, a new empty drawing. I can create a new empty drawing. The environment that you can find is the AutoCAD standard environment. The only difference is on the left side you have the specified tool palette divided by in architectural to create walls, to insert pillars or windows, doors, floor and roof, tiles, and so on. Library for equipment to manage the equipment insertion, and special to manage the special items, the tailor-made items. Okay, and identify. So the next step is to identify the area and to assign the position number to each equipment. And then, okay, view and shade, we have to change the point of view from plan view to isometric viewport, or to apply shadow, or to use 3D AutoCAD standard commands to rotate our environment. Then we prepare the layout, okay, and we will move in the paper spaces to create the layout and print our drawing. And then we can manage the installation point or MAP drawings. I would like to show you how it's easier to insert. For example, when you receive from an architect, you can receive a drawing. Okay, maybe we have our plan. I can insert. Automatically the software converts from the unit of measure to millimeters. Okay, and I can insert my plan. Okay, you can see that our plan is only 2D. Okay, in specify, so in our palette we have a few commands. One of these is to convert layer that permits me to select a wall, for example, and I can link it directly with our specified bidimensional walls. Okay, it changes completely the color of our walls, and now I can extrude the walls, bidimensional walls in 3D. We have a command that permits to choose the height of the roof. Okay, supposing 3,500, and enter. Okay, and you can see the result. So we already have all our three-dimensional walls. I can come back to our existing plan, because in the same way I can insert the floor, the roof, and tiles. And the next step is the insertion of equipment. So I move to library, and I can run one of the most important commands of specify, electronic catalog. This command permits me to insert a symbol, retrieving it from the manufacturer libraries. Okay, and you can find on the left side all the list of available manufacturers. Speaking about manufacturers, today Specify counts around 280 manufacturers available. You don't need to pay anything to receive their library, you just need their approval. It means that you use, and you will receive automatically 6 demonstration library. Okay, you have Demo America, Demo Consultant, Demo Asia, Europe, Furniture, generic items, and special items. And then you can ask for all the other available libraries. You can find them in a specified website directly, okay? And you can make your request directly from the website. For example, if you want to work, you just need to select there the manufacturer, okay? Now I can type the name of the manufacturer, and the software search and filters this list, retrieving the right manufacturer I just searched. I can change the available language, so I can choose English to work in the English language. And now I can search for the equipment I want to insert. Supposing I want to work with new style 7001 and ranges, I want to insert gas range. When I select the item, it shows me all the products retrieving from GCO, in this case library. I can see below the available accessory if I want to insert some accessories. Okay, and you can see that for this library, okay, you have all the, when you select your item, you have all the technical and commercial information with the long description, for example, for the quotation. And inside the connection, you have the connection point with gas connection and with all gas information. In order to insert our block, we have just to press OK button. Okay, and the software gives me the block to insert inside my drawing. Now it's retrieving the block, and you have your block. You can create your cooking island. You can insert your block in the middle with one click for insertion, another click to rotate your block. Okay, the block has been inserted with a position number in front of the block. In front of the item, you have 00, so the position number. Okay, so I can continue the insertion. So I can come back to search. If you know the code, model, or part of description, you can type directly in the search text box on the top right corner. And supposing I want to insert a fryer, electric fryer, I can select the fryer I want to insert. I just have to press OK button. And when you move close to the previous one, the node permits you to join perfectly the equipment to each other in order to align them. Okay. You can repeat a command to insert another, supposing you want to insert, we can insert a griddle, and you have also top function when you insert. When you move in 3D, you can see how it looks like, and you can apply the shadow, and you can see that all the equipment you have inserted has the correct height from the ground, has the perfectly manufacturer layout, okay, and the frontal shape is exactly the manufacturer frontal shape. And coming back to our drawing, it's opening. You can see this is the end result when you have inserted all the equipment in the right position. I can show in 3D. You have commands to create cold rooms or insert hoods inside your drawing, or to create also some additional item like to can apply hide to create, for example, a three-dimensional bar counter or also special item. One of the available libraries is called special. You have demo special that permits me to insert, for example, extrude shape, worktop 700. You can select the shape. This is a worktop, okay, and I can insert at 810 millimeters because I have to consider also the height of the worktop, and I can insert it. I can choose the extrusion mode because this is extrude shape profile, and I can choose if I want to extrude it in linear way or following a path or a draw. Supposing you want to follow a wall, you can choose draw, and you can select, for example, starting point, intersection. You give the angle, so you can choose the rotation angle, and then you can select and follow exactly the walls. You have to consider you have also ties at walls, so we need to use intersection and OSNAP. Okay, one time we finish, we can press enter button, and the software creates the profile and extrudes the profile in order to create the worktop. You can also rotate. So as you can see, it's very easy to work with the software because you work in bidimensional, but every object has been created in 3D, and you can see exactly the lateral shape that it extruded. Always in our special demonstration library, you have another category, parametric neutral, that permits me to insert, for example, a table, and I can set the dimension of the table. Okay, I can insert my table, and I can set some option, for example, how many legs I want 6 legs, and the bottom shelf it must be open or grilled. Okay, I want a grilled one, and the feet if I want a different feet, casters or standard feet or slim feet. When you press OK button, the software creates the block in real time, and you can see your block created only also in 3D. So when we speak about special item, I can apply the shadow now to show. As you can see, I have the middle shelf, the bottom shelf, and 6 legs. Okay, so now I'm creating the block. We have command then to insert a hood. Okay, that permits me to identify 3 points to identify the area that hood has to cover. I can I can select the manufacturer that I want to use. Supposing I want to work with Vianen and just trim a single island. Okay, standard. Automatically it calculates the margin, and when you press OK button, it inserts the hood perfectly centered over the cooking island. You can see this is your hood. You can see the hood also in 3D. I'm always still working in bidimensional, but each object has a 3D. You can see there the hood with a correct height from the ground. Or I can create, for example, I can use rectangle command to draw a shape. Okay, if I want, I can also use AutoCAD standard commands. You can see that specify works a lot with AutoCAD standard commands. Supposing I want and from library I can insert code room. Okay, I can set parameters about the height, ceiling height, or floor height, or the depth of the panel, 60 millimeters. Okay, if I want to change the floor level, and when I press OK button, the software asks to select the shape. You can select and enter, and it creates a code room with all the panels And now I just have to, from a catalog, we have always in our special library command to insert, for example, the door accessory for code room. Okay, I have door that I can insert, selecting inside the panel, outside, and the distance 200 millimeters from the corner. I can mirror also the door. In this case, I choose no. And you can see the result in 3D. In 3D, you have your code room just created. You can insert your own blocks. You can manage your catalog. Then, after you have inserted and all the equipment, you can move to identify and run identify equipment. Identify equipment permits me to insert, first of all, the area label, supposing we want to insert the cooking area, and this is my cooking area, and I can select the equipment I want to number, 1 in the order, 2, 3, and 4. I can repeat the command to insert another area, supposing preparation. You can add your own description. You can continue numbering from the previous, or you can start again from 1. Okay, and preparation area 1 and 2, and the last one could be another area, and I can choose cold room, or if I want, I can add refrigeration or whatever. I can choose to start again from 1, so cold room 1 and 2. One time we have numbered our equipment, we can move to a layout A0. Okay, you can see this is our A0. It depends on the printer you are using. Okay, and you can insert, moving to layout, you can insert 2D, 3D view, so you can choose what kind of viewport you would like to insert. You can insert also frame and your header if you want. And for example, I can select a plan view with a different scale factor. Okay, supposing 1.50, the software gives me the viewport to insert. And as you can see, I have created a scaled 1.50 and inserted this viewport in my layout. I can call the command again to add additional other viewports, supposing I want another plan with a different scale factor because I want to detail about my cooking island. I can also remove auto size and lock view, these two options, okay, because I want to identify exactly by myself the area where it has to insert the viewport. So I can identify the 2 corners. I can enter inside, and with the pan command, AutoCAD pan command, I can center. So we have the same project, only one project, but with different viewport. Okay, it's similar to insert camera and to take some picture, some photo directly from our project. You can insert a technical legend, for example, and you can decide what you want to insert. I would like to remind you that one of the most important features of our software, of a specified solution, is the possibility to have all the commercial and technical data inserted inside each block. So when we speak about Specify is not only a CAD library, because it permits with a few commands to create your layout and insert, for example, your technical legend, okay, and also with some option if you want to insert some totals, if you want to insert accessories or not, okay, and when you press OK button, you have your table that you can insert directly. So the time you reduce, the time that you spend usually in creating the technical legend table divided by area, you can see that we have there cooking area, preparation area, and code rooms, okay, with all dimension. Or you can repeat the technical legend, adding, for example, I want to add also the electricity, or I want to add power, gas power and electrical power. When you press OK button, it recreates automatically the technical legend. Okay, now I choose also the accessory of code room, so it adds also the position number of accessory. You can see that we have power, gas, and electricity, and at the end you have the total amount for gas power and electrical power. Then all the object inserted, you can use move AutoCAD standard commands to insert them. You can insert other viewport, for example, an isometric viewport. Okay, or you can also identify with a section line. Okay, you can identify your section line. Okay, and your layout, you can insert an elevation double A, the section line we just inserted. You can set the scale factor, supposing 1.20. You can remove again auto size and lock view. You can identify the dimension of your viewport, and then inside you can move it with pan command or in order to center. At the end, you can also insert a camera. And if you're using AutoCAD, you can also choose to use a AutoCAD standard camera, setting the length dimension. And you can insert your viewport, you can insert the camera, and you can identify the target of your camera. Okay, as you can see, then inside you can use, when you move inside, you have there also orbit that permits to rotate in order to identify the best point of view regarding your camera. I would like to show you the end result when I opened a PDF that shows exactly I rotated. And you can see there how it looks like. This is a sample of an automatic renderer created. All these items you can find directly inside our library. So you can find a furniture library with tables, bottles, lamps, or some picture, okay, and that you can insert in order to complete your drawing. Okay, this is all the items just inserted, and when we move a second, moving in your A0, okay, we can create in the same way the layout, okay, and we can obtain the same result. So you can see there the elevation view, technical legend, isometric viewport, and the plan view of your project. Then we can manage also the installation, because we have installation command that permits me to select an equipment and identify exactly how I want to install this equipment. As you can see, I have the information about equipment connection, okay, and I can choose, for example, what kind of installation. For example, if I want to work from a gas from floor or gas from above, okay, you have different way to manage. Okay, you just have to select the installation method. And about installation method, okay, you can modify everything. So you can identify exactly the symbols you want to use for 2D and 3D to manage installation points. You can create your own installation sets, okay, because all this part is customizable. And then you can select the installation, okay, and the software reads information directly from equipment, okay, and if you want, you can change, maybe instead of type, you can insert, for example, LPG gas. Or when you confirm, starting from the gas connection, equipment gas connection point, the software asks where you want to insert the installation point. Supposing you have a technical wall behind your equipment, so I can insert there the symbol for a gas installation, and this is the label that I can insert and connect to my installation point. The software asks also to save the information for next time, because next time I can use again, I can install again using the same method, the same installation method into another project. I can save, okay, and I can insert description. Or island installation, supposing, and I can confirm. So next time it will suggest to use the same method. And you can install also for electricity. Okay, you can see there are two electrical connections. So there you can select also for electricity the installation method. Okay, from wall for terminal box, but you can manage your own installation point. Okay, supposing this is the most used. Okay, so I can retrieve all information. Cable length, suppose 1000, you can write. The height, insertion 300, you can change. And also for the second installation, if you want, you can add. Otherwise, you can sum them, because it gives the total amount of power. Okay. I don't save just right now. Okay, I can select that one. I can insert insertion height set 0. Okay, for example, I can change the power, whatever. And I can insert the third label to connect. Okay, I don't save this information. And then you can also retrieve the dimension regarding the generic walls or equipment factory connection point, equipment connection point, or predisposition. It means installation points. For example, I can choose gas, and I can work with a baseline or continue in order to identify quick horizontal. I can select from this point, supposing I can select all my equipment. I can press enter, and the software gives me from the starting point all the distance. It retrieves all the distance for installation. I can repeat the same dimension for electricity. Okay, I can choose the same always from this point. I can select all the equipment. It doesn't matter because it identifies only the single installation point. In our layout, when we move back to A0, okay, I can ask to the software directly in a plan view, supposing I can enter, and I can use a command layer group to ask to show me electricity label 2D and 2D symbol only. And you can see that it appears only the installation point with the dimension and with the label. Differently, in the second, I can ask to turn on, for example, gas label and 2D symbol. Okay, and maybe there you can see the information about the two labels about gas. At the end, we can run offer synchronization. With offer synchronization, it permits me to move all information from the CAD directly to the quotation. Okay, so I will have, when I press OK button, the software will synchronize and will send all this information directly to the quotation. I can come back to our PDM. Okay, I just need to reload and open. And you can see that now for our drawing, it created also the quotation. We double click over the quotation. I can open it. And I have all the products just inserted with all information. You can see the long description, the picture, and I can move to, I can check the prices. I can set the discount. Because there in price calculation, I can see that starting from the public manufacturer list price, okay, I can insert the discount to calculate my net price, my cost price, and then I can also applying some increases and discount to the customer to offer these products to the end customers. The software gives also information regarding the margin, okay, calculated the margin and that you are receiving, okay, 37.7, and I can insert in general data, I can identify who is the customer, okay, I can insert, for example, a header, or I can customize with my header and my footer, okay. And when I move to print, I can see directly how the offer looks like. Here we have different configuration. Okay, I can reload. Or I can choose also if I want, for example, here you have all the configuration. If you want the customer data, just to reload on the right side. Okay, you can insert the term of sale. In general data, you can insert, for example, the opening text, and you can save the different opening text in different language because you have a dictionary. Dictionary is the possibility to store and to save some text directly into an archive in order to use them, okay, and instead of typing every time. Here we can insert also, I can insert my signature, okay, and then I can apply changes and move to print to see exactly the information. Also for the signature, I can move it on the right, and this is the sample, how it looks like. Okay, so you can see all equipment information. Otherwise, you can, for each product, you can choose what you want to print or to remove. If you want, for example, to remove the manufacturers or a supplier, producer, okay, and you just have to reload your layout to remove some information. If you want to see the scan, and this is the example about how your offer looks like, okay, with all accessories, if you want to print or not, the total amount, and with the totals and generic terms, okay, and these are the generic terms that you can insert, and you can identify if you want to insert also page break or not, okay, and a closing text for your quotation. Your quotation can be printed directly or saved in PDF, Word file, Excel file, can be exported in different formats. So that's short presentation, okay, and the most important features regarding Specify, okay, to podcast or use. The software in a trial version, okay, you